few words as to the vision. A man who envisions smarter cities, smarter countryside, a smarter Philippines. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor, privilege, and pleasure to give you the Secretary of the Department of Science and Technology, the Honorable Mario G.
Well, thank you for having me. Ismael Mulganza, Chairman of the NCP National IC Confederation of the Philippines. Mr. Christopher Romeo, Manager, UN Habitat. Mr. Rich Heinz Lima, Deputy Mission Partner of USA. Mr. Marshall Beck of the European Chamber of Commerce. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. Before everything, let me express my thanks to all of our co-bands from Davao who welcome us with open arms here in one of our country's most progressive city and region. What I would like to do this morning to set the table for the day by introducing our conceptual framework on what Smarter Philippines is and what it will mean for all of us and all our kababayans, co-bands, and illustrate it by grounding such a framework in what we are already doing at DOST. By doing this, I hope you will appreciate better what the succeeding resource persons will share with you today. Ano po ba itong itinugurian nating Smarter Philippines? Let me start with a simple image based on where we are now. Friends, please indulge me as I invite you to daydream with me and imagine what can be. Imagine if the people of Davao were to have access to high-resolution 3D topographical map of their city and province, allowing them to do better land use planning, to monitor and pinpoint vulnerable spots to floods and other natural disasters as well as safe evacuation areas. Imagine if this baseline data can now be overlaid with early warning system, rainfall intensity maps, water levels of our rivers, and maps of landslide-prone areas. Imagine if our local government having accurate and timely information on disaster scenarios like inundation flood maps needed for better disaster mitigation and responding more rapidly to victims through efficient networking of city and regional hospital and clinics. Imagine all our barangays having broadband interconnectivity and accessing various government services from e-payment and cashless transaction for everything from e-cedula to a passport to a business permit, including availing of e-health services via mobile diagnostic tools or telemedicine. Sa mga nahirapan pong managinip ng ganito dahil kung malayo pa inaharap ang pangyayari ito po ang good news. Pinapakita po natin na posible na po ito. What do we really mean by Smarter Philippines? At its very core, it is a mindset, a conscious effort, a passion, if you will, of continually finding better ways of doing things, finding smarter ways. For us at the DOST, this means leveraging science and technology to come up with new and better products, processes, services, and systems which will have the primary objective of improving Filipino lives. At the very essence of this is a firm belief, born out of the truism that technology, if properly harnessed, transforms lives for the better in ways which are truly revolutionary. Throughout history, scientific and technological breakthroughs have heralded waves of rapid growth and productivity, resulting in prosperity for humanity. Allow me to revisit very briefly the momentous shift in human history from the primitive age of long ago. During the agricultural age, we saw how technologies for cultivating crops and raising farm animals led to the increase in food production and transformed what were once roving hunters and gatherers into farmers. This enabled our ancestors to establish roots in traditional local communities. This was the advent of agricultural society. The Industrial Revolution which followed, with its technological innovation in mechanization and harnessing of power from water, steam, and eventually electricity, brought forth the modern factories and mass production. This pushed mankind to ascendant growth in productivity which characterized industrial society. We are now presently in a post-industrial era that we know now as the information society. Its very essence linked to the technological advances in information, computerization, and automation. For the past 50 years, the digitization of information flows and communication mechanism is again driving leaps in productivity. The strategic importance of ICT cannot be denied. We are now a global community of more than 2 billion people accessing the internet and more exposed to the explosion of ICT. We see the rapid diffusion of smartphones, PC tablet, smart TVs, and internet radio appliances, which is rapidly changing our lifestyle. Through our devices, we can check traffic situation, check the weather, and read books. We use ICT also for the most noble of tasks, improving our electoral system and mitigating climate change. Clearly, ICT are making our government much more efficient, transparent, and engaged. It is transforming our industries and the way we do business. The mobile internet and cloud computing have expanded further our horizons. ICT and the communities that use them have enabled the rise of social media as global phenomena, allowing citizens to participate more deeply in social and political life. As the cost of access to digital devices continues to plummet, the level of sophistication of sensors and digital devices has increased by leaps and bounds. This has resulted in abundance of real-time data and information. Computing power is also increasing exponentially, making it possible for us to use advanced numerical models to analyze and process all this abundant data for decision making. In a real way, we are embedding intelligence into our system and infrastructure, making them truly smart system and infrastructure and smart technology. Ladies and gentlemen, we are witnesses to the emerging paradigm shift from information society to an even more revolutionary smart society. In our glimpse of human history all the way to the present information age, we have seen how technological development has affected the evolution of societies, driven great advances in productivity, brought forth higher levels of prosperity, and truly transformed our lifestyle. However, our country has not always been on board for some of the significant technological breakthrough in the past, which could have spurred our economic development. We cannot afford to let that happen again. The good news is that the coming revolution is still emerging, and the Philippines, through strategic leveraging of science and technology, is poised to participate and take advantage of the coming wave of smarter technologies. At DOST, we are integrating smart technologies into our current research and development programs. The convergence of scientific and technological know-how with smart technologies enabled us to attain significant improvements in the quality and productivity of our research output. To illustrate, The UST is implementing the National Shrimp S&T program with UP Visayas and SIFTEC, which aims to revive the Philippine shrimp industry for global competitiveness. Among the primary objectives of this program is to increase the shrimp yield per hectare by 1,000%. I'd like to repeat it again, by 1,000% through the use of biofloc technology. However, this would require close monitoring and precise water quality management, which can only be possible through the use of smart technologies. Interesting too is that the system is also environmental friendly, since it involves a closed system wherein water is 100% recycled. At present, we are evaluating finalizing a project involving smarter agriculture. Significant improvement in crop yields can result from smart farming practices. This will entail installation of soil moisture sensors and getting weather information from a casa. A nationwide internet-based management information system will then be set up to provide farmers with timely agro-meteorological data such as rainfall trends, soil moisture data, evap transpiration level, to support farming decisions. Farmers can then apply the right quantities of water as required by a particular plant crop within a certain growth stage. These are some of the project of DOST, wherein we are integrating smarter or smart technologies. This initiative illustrates what a smarter countryside could look like. How can this paradigm be applied even to urban setting? What they can we envision as a smart city? A smarter city has to our mind has some of these key elements. It constantly assesses how it performs in key areas: governance, the economy, the environment, citizen mobility, people, human resources, and how they live. It denotes an instrumental, interconnected, and intelligent city. It's trying to make itself smarter, more efficient, more innovative, more sustainable, more participative and equitable, and more livable via strategic use of converging technologies enabled by ICT. A European study group has proposed a useful framework for smarter cities containing 6 core areas. These are shown in our backdrop, which include also the UST Smart Technologies Initiative in each core. I will start with smarter government, and one of our initiatives with other departments, the Integrated Government Philippines, and this will discuss more in detail by Dennis Quintorente this afternoon. We have smarter economy. We have mentioned earlier about our smart agriculture and aquaculture. We are going to start at smart S&T. We are going to set up innovation centers in all the regions wherein we will make available technology tools, including food technology for our SME, for them to be able to develop food products. And this will be in all regions of the Philippines. And we like to show that technology when harnessed can be used with the creativity of our SME to come up with numerous food products. We have our smart manufacturing. This is really to have a seamless connectivity between computer-aided design, computer-aided drafting, design, and manufacturing. Hopefully this will be seamless for all our, for the SME, to be able for them to take advantage or take of these technologies. We have ADMATER, this is Advanced Material Testing Laboratory. Electronics, semiconductor electronics is our number one export. Maybe 60% of our export comes from electronics, but we are in assembly. We are trying to move in the value chain by pushing for more product design and development activities. For smarter people, ICT in itself empower people. They are more informed. So in itself, they become even more smarter. Anyway, we have DOST scholars. We are pushing that DOST scholar will be represented by all communities. We have also Think Live DC for public school. For smarter living, it will be discussed this afternoon in telehealth using remote diagnostic equipment. For smarter mobility, this is our automated guide transport which we are now testing in UP. This costs only 1/3 to 1/5 of an equivalent MRT or LRT. This is 100% Filipino engineered and fabricated. And we are looking at other kind of models. This one has a 36 seating capacity per coach. We are now, the bigger model is now, the fabrication will be started. It will be having a capacity of maybe 120. So that is almost equivalent of a MRT. Again, we are trying to put value engineering so that it will not cost more than 1/3 an equivalent system. We are excited with our road train. It is really a rubber tire tram system which can run on the ordinary road. We look at it as a very efficient way of utilizing road space because this has maybe 3 to 4 times more capacity than the way we are using the road. A smarter environment. Last year, there was also a shift in the way we do things. Before the Philippines were buying map products, but in this dream project, we bought the equipment and we process the data using our scientists and our engineers. And with this kind of approach, most probably there was maybe 1/5. Maybe it will cost us maybe only 20% than if we had done it the other way. Anyway, we have finished almost Central Luzon. We have done also 3D mapping for Compostela for us to be able to pinpoint what are the vulnerable areas and what is safe areas. We can only do that if we are able to simulate what will happen if there is another Pundoy. So we are able to simulate flood scenario. So that is that is also what could be available for Davao because Davao experienced some flooding maybe a few months ago. This is the simulation of flood in Davao, but this is Pundoy type of a weather of a rainfall event. So it's just to emphasize what will happen to Davao if there will be a Pundoy. I hope it will not happen. Smarter cities plus smarter countryside equal a progressive, smarter Philippines. It is a technology-based development model that recognizes the role of secondary cities as drivers of growth not only within its area but also its surrounding countryside. Kung mangyayari po ito sa lahat ng syudad ng Pilipinas, this could be the new approach for inclusive and sustainable growth. and for poverty alleviation. This is an approach that we share with our partner USAID and UN Habitat, and hopefully with many others. The USD ICTO Director Luis Casabe will discuss with you shortly our initiative to address the connectivity requirements and also cybersecurity issues and others. Deputy Executive Director Van Wilson will tackle some of the operational aspects of our Smarter Philippines pilot line. We would like again to acknowledge our partners, USAID, UN Habitat, the National ICT Confederation of the Philippines, and the European Chamber of Commerce. They are continuously pushing for initiative in line with our Smarter Philippines concept in rural and select urban areas all over the Philippines, developing and empowering these smarter communities with the necessary technologies and knowledge of ICT. We aim to enhance this partnership to further evolve joint initiative to grow the Smarter Philippines ecosystem. Smarter Philippines. There's something in these two words, beyond technology, that touches and lifts our spirit as Filipinos. It makes us prouder and moves us to stand up and be united and be counted. In closing, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Filipinos, we are in a unique position in history. We are at the beginning of a major technological revolution. The emergence of smart technologies and the shift to smart societies. We have the people and the skills to harness these technologies to improve our lives. Let us embrace this new paradigm and transform ourselves to a smarter Philippines. Sabi sa atin ni Pinoy na huli niya sola, ang Pilipino ay maaari ng muling mangarap. Daghang salamat at mabuhay tayo lahat.